How could he? How dare he? He was one of them, privileged, the heir to a fortune. 21-year-old Jamie Johnson never had to work a day in his life. Then he went into the movie business, made a candid documentary about his fabulously wealthy friends. They spilled the beans, all the beans, and thus broke the last great social taboo. Never, ever, ever be crass enough to talk about money. Well, you could hear the smart set choking on their silver spoons. They cut young Jamie dead. You'll see why in this preview of his sneaky exposé, the film he called Born Rich.
I always expected that my 21st birthday party would be the greatest night of my life. Champagne, pretty girls. You wonder, can life get any better than this? Well, to be blunt, it can. At midnight, I'm going to inherit more money than most people could earn or spend in a lifetime.
Jamie Johnson is serious. He's about to become seriously rich. His share of the Johnson & Johnson company, founded by his family more than a century ago, is worth millions and millions of dollars. Every time you buy a Band-Aid, Jamie gets richer.
What did I do to earn the kind of money I'll own at midnight tonight? All I did was inherit it.
Jamie Johnson's immense wealth bothers him so much that he dared question it. And he did it in the most public way. He turned a camera on some of his super rich friends, the wealthiest kids on earth, and made a documentary called Born Rich.
Good. Sir!
It would be a low estimate, a very low estimate for me to say 20 billion.
I remember when I was a little kid, my mom let me spend the day with my uncle, and he took me to Grand Central Station, and he said, "This is yours."
We are on the 68th floor. Not a bad view to wake up to.
I think I made a lot of people nervous and anxious, and that's the way they felt about it.
You had some nasty public encounters?
I had a few. I would be approached at parties and people would say, "What do you think you're doing? Why did you do this? I think you did the wrong thing." And there was some tension there, and I think some people feel like I did break an unspoken rule that shouldn't have been broken.
Before I say anything, I just want to say that I am really, really reluctant to do this, and I really don't like talking to this thing at all, and I dislike you both immensely as a result of the fact.
Luke Wheel was one of Jamie's friends. As heir to a massive gaming fortune, Luke would later regret revealing just how much power and privilege comes from being absolutely stinking rich.
So whoever pisses you off, and I'm up at boarding school, and this kid's from like some shit town in Connecticut, I don't know. I can just say, "F you, I'm from New York. I can buy your family, piss off." And this is petty, and this is weak, and this is very underhanded, but it's so easy,
So in a sense, you were a traitor. You burst the bubble. You blew the whistle.
I guess in that sense I was, people have said that about me, so.
Hey, good to see you, dude.
Nice to see you.
I'm a German Baron and Italian Viscount.
In all, 10 of Jamie's friends agreed to bare their wealthy souls.
I'm a handbag guru, personally, because it's like the easiest thing to shop for when you're not really shopping and you're just running in. And you just go and you buy it and you don't realize how expensive it is.
Cy Newhouse IV is the eldest son and heir to a publishing empire. It's the Condé Nast Group, which includes
Vogue, Allure, Vanity Fair, GQ, Self, Glamour, House and Garden, Condé Nast Traveler, Architectural Digest, Bon Appetit, Gourmet, Wired, New Yorker, and I'm sure there's a couple I missed.
Cody Franchetti is heir to a textile fortune.
Lapels, you see they're high. There's nothing worse when you see these jackets with these lapels that go like this, you see, that are low riding. Clinton wears this kind of thing. Have you seen? It looks like a restaurant owner. It's so vulgar. This is so, has an aristocratic thing to it, no?
Cody is a part-time model and a full-time multimillionaire who feels not one shred of guilt over having wealth he's never worked for.
And I find guilt absolutely senseless. So I don't feel bad for anything, and especially having money. I find it a very, very negative trip, and it's something that is, you know, basically for old women and nuns. Yeah.
While all the people in Born Rich never need work, Jamie's father never has worked. Not one day, not ever. Instead, he paints.
I don't want to be nervous about money or be nervous about who I am. And I feel like you're feeling nervous about this film is maybe that nervousness of who you are.
And you're in control of this film, and I'm not. So there's a little source of nervousness.
Talking about money and having a public association with wealth was a frightening thing for him. And the way he's dealt with that is by avoiding it as much as possible.
So when his son decides to pull out a camera, what's worse, and discuss it, that was his worst nightmare.
I think it was his worst nightmare. But at the same time, I think also that's probably one of the reasons why I felt like it needed to be done, because it's not that frightening.
Money is a thing that you don't talk about because it's in bad taste. Why?
It was to his father that Jamie turned to seek his advice about a burning question. Even if you don't need to work, does it fulfill you more as a person to have a job? It's a concept his dad finds difficult to grasp.
After graduation, you might pursue the filming a little bit, but you might also get interested in graduate school, further studies, building a collection of historic documents, papers, publications. And
as a career?
Yes.
Okay.
And you look at him as if to say, there's something seriously wrong here.
I do remember that. And it's kind of funny because he suggests I collect old maps, and there's something so antiquated about that idea. Hand-colored?
Oh, yeah.
Well, considering I don't have to work, what advice would you give me on?
Then don't work. Then don't work. Why would anybody in their right mind work unless they had to?
Do you have a job?
No.
Do you want a job?
No.
Cody Franchetti's chiseled face looms large over New York. But right now, he has put modelling on hold. In fact, this 29-year-old says he's put off any career until he's 40. It's a decision he's happy with, but not so many of his mates.
I have met more very rich people that are unhappy than regular people that aren't. And this is, I just cannot understand why people think that money equals happiness. It isn't so, and often it equals unhappiness at a certain level.
What would make a very rich person unhappy?
Isolation is one of the main things that comes with wealth, with extreme wealth. And that is a terrible thing.
This was my bed. It's a little small for me now.
And then there's Ivanka Trump, blessed with beautiful looks and buckets of money.
The fact is that I'm absolutely, proud to be a Trump.
This daughter of Donald never feels lonely, but she says she understands the oh-so-terrible isolation money can bring.
I remember once I was on a job in Australia, and this guy just walks up to me, who I'd never met, and says, what does it feel like to be wealthy? And I was like, excuse me? And he goes, what does it feel like to never have felt any pain? And that really upset me, just the fact that there really are people out there who think like that. You know, that think that with money comes happiness. I think this is so classic.
And what of love?
Bag. You stick everything in, it can hold. Makeup kit, it can hold.
For finance heiress Stephanie Ercklentz, the options are limited. Poor people need not apply.
So you can fit your little dog in it. I've never actually dated outside my social background, and I've thought about that. Never. It's really weird.
And potential partners beware. With love comes lawyers.
One day I'll fall in love and I'll get married, whatever. I'll probably get divorced a couple of years later. I'll have a serious prenup before.
Prenup. It's been drilled into my head since I was 5 years old. Prenup. All the way. And if this little ungrateful bitch has the nerve to say something like, it's unromantic, I don't want a prenup, then she's just a gold digger and I don't want to get married to her anyways.
Were you at all surprised by some of the things that were said?
At times I was really surprised. I mean, I was surprised and offended and confused and just thought, is it really this way? I mean, is this really the state of things?
Can you recall when or what would make you surprised or offended or mildly amused?
There's certain moments in the film when you see such a strong sense of entitlement and such a snobbery, and I think those are hard to watch.
This is the Britannica 11th edition, which is in 33 volumes, but thin. And this is the last edition that was written before it became, from 1911, before it got completely rewritten and became, you know, for the masses. I mean, now the Encyclopedia Britannica is, you know, shit.
Born Rich nearly died before it was finished. During the production, Luke Wheel took legal action to try and stop it going to air in America. Luke failed, and Jamie's expose of young money finally made it to air.
There was a huge sense of fear that built around the movie because press started to come out before anyone had seen it, before the subjects in the film had seen it. And I think their families started to react to the press, and their friends started to react to the press and saying to the kids that were in the film, "You're an idiot, why did you do this? This was so stupid." And then they got scared.
In the end, Jamie's aim was a very personal one, to lift the veil of secrecy so that he could feel comfortable with his own mega wealth. So, how successful was he? How much money did you inherit?
You know, it's interesting. I'm a millionaire. I'm a multi-millionaire, but I don't really talk about it more specifically than that.
Why not?
And there it is. It's like, you know, I've made this film and I'm comfortable now talking about wealth in public, but I still don't go there.
Because I won't be upset.
Yeah, I know, you know.
I won't view you any differently. So to this day, you still can't say, well, actually, I've got, you know, 400 million in the bank, or I can have access to $1 billion if I want. You can't utter those kinds of words?
I can't.
I've had the benefit of being rich all my life, and I'll never want for material things. But after working on this movie, I've discovered that what you inherit may not be as valuable as what you earn.
Hello, I'm Liz Hayes. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our extra minute segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au and the 9Now app.